This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
And I'm back. I got some wrestling news and rumors to talk to you about. Is Uncle Howdy on his way back? Is he bringing the Wyatt 6 with him? What's going on with that? We'll talk about that. How does Endeavor feel about Triple H and his creative plans and creative direction for WWE? We got some news on that. What is next for Gunther? Who's next in line for the Intercontinental Title Championship? We're going to discuss that too. And what is new on AEW Dynamite's Title Tuesday? Has there been another match added? And Pillman Jr. looking to get started in NXT, looking to debut any day now. But does WWE have different creative plans? Could he be seeing even a name change? We're going to talk about all this right after this, so join me, shall you? You know it, I'm back. I'm the one, the only, Big Time. Right here on Big Time Rants, brought to you by The Value of Wrestling, right here on the Value of Wrestling YouTube channel. I thank you for joining me as we cover some late news, rumors, and everything else that we can talk about, rant about, and discuss. So, first up, we got Gunther. Who's next in line for Gunther's Intercontinental title? Who's going to be the next one to step up and be a contender? Well, it looks like Bronson Reed is the name that's being thrown around in the creative aspects. A lot of people within WWE believe Bronson Reed is being built and pushed to be the next one in line to take on Gunther for that Intercontinental title. It's going to be interesting. This would be a really good match. Gunther versus Bronson Reed. WWE's been doing a lot to get Bronson Reed up and over, and it definitely looks like this could be the future for the Intercontinental Champion. Gunther versus Bronson Reed, what do you think? Drop your comments below. Do you want to see this? Do you think Bronson Reed should be the one to dethrone Gunther and take that Intercontinental title? We will talk about that down in the comments below for sure. WWE planning to make good use of Karrion Kross with a creative push. It looks like there's creative plans to repackage or at least rebrand Karrion Kross in a new way and push him up to the moon. Triple H is definitely invested in Karrion Kross and looking to bring back that nostalgia that we saw in NXT with him and Scarlett. Karrion Kross could be getting a very, very big push in the creative direction. Recently, he's been losing a lot of matches. He had that lost series to AJ Styles, so we're hoping that WWE, maybe even Triple H, now that it feels like Triple H is more in control than ever, can do something to revitalize and make us believe in Karrion Kross again. With that being said, where does Endeavor stand with Triple H? Well, it looks like Endeavor is fully behind the creative direction and vision of Triple H and fully backing him over Vince McMahon. It looks like Endeavor and TKO and everybody involved is really liking the direction Triple H is going and saying that, Vince needs to step back and let Triple H and the future take over. And it definitely seems like we're seeing more and more of Triple H's fingers in the creative pool and keeping the creative direction going as we see certain stars move up. And we see a lot of attention being focused on newer, younger talent that definitely needs to be developed. And we definitely feel like Triple H is really trying to take hold of these reins and take the WWE in its newer direction. And it's exciting, and it's good to hear that Endeavor even seems to be behind him and pushing for him. He's the one who's driving 99% of the creative, as it is said, not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, of course, is there to dabble in and out, but it definitely looks like Triple H has Endeavor's full support in all his creative ideas and creative direction moving forward, which is awesome to hear. We need Triple H in charge. Vince has kind of lost touch with the reality of what we want in our wrestling shows. And you can definitely see that as things are upticking for WWE, even on the NXT, their viewership and their numbers are ticking upwards. And what an important week it's going to be for NXT, as Dynamite will be preempted due to the Major League Baseball playoffs. And so Dynamite will be airing on Tuesday night. And Tony Khan's dubbed it a Title Tuesday for Dynamite. And we have another match at it. It looks like the timeless one, Tony Storm, will be in action at Title Tuesday. So we'll be seeing Tony Storm over there on Dynamite competing in action. And, of course, Dynamite going up against NXT. And NXT is definitely stacked the deck as they have added Asuka. They have Becky Lynch there. They have Dominic Mysterio there. They have Paul Heyman going to be in the corner of Braun Breaker when he takes on Carmelo Hayes. And in Carmelo Hayes' corner, you're going to have John Cena. And also a big announcement coming from Cody Rhodes live on NXT, the newly crowned one half of the tag team champions, is going to make a big announcement, and it definitely seems like it's going to be an announcement about the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament that we see. It's a great tournament, and since we have a Rhodes on the show, it would be perfect for him to announce that, and with the tag team titles. It's going to be very interesting to see and hear what he has to say, and I think we're all excited for that. And, of course, the rumor mill is going around, and we've heard the dong after the show that The Undertaker is going to be in Orlando, Florida, and he will be possibly on the NXT show in some form, factor, or another way. So it'll be very interesting to see The Undertaker make a return appearance, not only to WWE, but what I believe is his first appearance ever in NXT. This could be an awesome night in the world of professional wrestling as NXT goes head-to-head with Dynamite. WWE bringing out all the big guns, trying to really make sure they are pushing forward and making a name in this battle. Tony Khan trying his best to stay with his head above water. It's not looking good for Dynamite, as even their TV ratings are not hitting peaks. Their viewership is dropping, even with Adam Copeland joining the card, and their ticket sales are not as good. It looks like they are trying to sell a little over 3,000 seats to the next show and only have 2,400 or 30. Was it? They only have 2,400 tickets, I believe, sold. So it's interesting. AEW is trying to get people in their venues. They're trying to sell these tickets, but they're just not getting the tickets sold as they want. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how it plays out on Tuesday night. Speaking of NXT, Brian Pillman Jr. looks like he's getting ready to make his debut on NXT. We have seen the vignettes where they show the Cincinnati Bengals playing the WCW Saturday night shows, all stuff that's in reference to his father, Brian Pillman. And we've even seen in the TV screen the tiger shirt that Brian Pillman wore, part of the Loose Canyon gimmick in WWE. And Brian Pillman Jr. looks to be making his namesake as a second-generation wrestler in WWE. Lots of stuff going on there. And if you paid attention to some of the video vignette, you saw some of the other second-generation superstars. And they're definitely pointing all fingers at Brian Pillman Jr. But is Brian Pillman Jr. due to some creative changes? Is WWE already trademarked a new name for Brian Pillman Jr.? Well, out of Ringside News, there is a report that the supposed name for Brian Pillman Jr. may be Lexus King. Lexus King may be the name we will see Brian Pillman Jr. compete under in WWE, or at least on NXT. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how you feel about it. It's kind of iffy, but let me break it down to you. As Ringside News reports, Lexus King comes from Brian Pillman's family, as Lexus would be short for Alexis, who was his half-sister who tragically passed away in a car accident. And, of course, King, being his mother's last name, Melania King, or Melanie King. Sorry, I don't know why I want to call her Melania. Melanie King was Melanie's last name prior to marrying Brian Pillman and becoming part of the Brian Pillman family. But that's where we're going to get the Lexus King's name. He's taking his sister's name and using Lexus and the last name King to create a possible new character. Could we see Brian Pillman Jr., instead of being Brian Pillman Jr., being Lexus King? How does this make you feel? What do you think about the name change? Drop your comments below. Share your opinion. Let's discuss it going forward. Are you into Lexus King now that you understand where that name's coming from, or do you want to see Brian Pillman Jr. as Brian Pillman Jr.? Do you want to see him try to portray the Loose Cannon gimmick, or do you want to see him take his own spin on the Brian Pillman Jr. name and become his own superstar within WWE? It's going to be interesting how that plays out. All right. So I'm sure you're dying to hear the big news and what everybody's talking about, all the chatter out in the lines, all the rumors that are speculating, everybody's discussing the return of Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy, we know, is played by Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is Bray Wyatt's brother in real life, and so we know that Uncle Howdy is planning a return, and there's a lot of creative talk and back and forth, and Triple H is very open to listening to what can be done, and it looks like Bo Dallas may redon the Uncle Howdy mask and come back in as Uncle Howdy, but also maybe bringing in a version of the Wyatt 6 that was originally slated for Bray Wyatt before Bray Wyatt became very ill and then eventually wound up passing away, which was very tragic. And, of course, we here at the Value Wrestling send our parts and thoughts and prayers to his family, and we wish them the best in all of this. But it would be possibly a good thing to see, something that keeps the name Wyatt around, something that, would be in memory of Bray Wyatt in the ring. Can Bo Dallas bring that same magic? Can he take that magic and spin it in with his own flair, so we get what we want in a Wyatt sense, but also in a different direction, so it feels different, new, and something that we can get behind? We know that Alexa Bliss was slated to possibly be part of the original Wyatt Six. We know that Eric Young was originally slated to be part of this Wyatt Six before asking for his release back in April after Vince McMahon became back in power. So how does this play out? Will we see Uncle Howdy align with Alexa Bliss? Will we see a beginning there? Will we pick up new stars? Are there stars in NXT? What will happen with Joe Gacy? Could they bring Joe Gacy and throw him into this Wyatt Six? What about Braun Strowman? Would Braun Strowman find a place in a new Wyatt Six? That could be very interesting for all involved. It is something we're going to have to wait and see. It is very interesting, but it's one of those things WWE is really going to have to either get behind it or just don't do it, because the fans are going to anticipate a lot, and if they can't fulfill that anticipation, it may not go over as well as WWE wants it to. So it is a real sticky water to walk in. Now, a lot of us probably want to see it and be real happy to see it. I'd be kind of excited to see it if they can play it right and make it make sense and do it right. And Bo Dallas comes in as Uncle Howdy, makes his own spinoff on it, kind of takes it in a direction where it feels more his, with the little Bray Wyatt element sprinkled in there. There's a lot of creative aspects, and there's a lot of creative people that are there that I believe can make this happen. And sure, Triple H is very, very business minded for wrestling and understands what is wanted in this modern era of professional wrestling, as we see in the ring, in the action, in the superstars that are being pushed and getting out there. Now, everybody may not agree. Some people don't like Triple H's creative envision. Some people have Vince McMahon's creative envision. And that fight is going to go back and forth. And, of course, in the comments below, you can have that debate and have that open discussion. We appreciate your comments and your opinion, and you're always open to that. But the Wyatt Six could be coming back, led by Uncle Howdy. It's going to be interesting. What do you think about the Wyatt Six possibly making a return? What about Uncle Howdy? Do you even want to see Uncle Howdy? Do you want to see anything that revolved around Bray Wyatt, or do you think it should just be, done, let everybody move on and become something that can be their own character and let Bray Wyatt go on his way? Do you want to see the Wyatt Six? Do you want to see the memory of Bray Wyatt be continued, or is the story in some way fulfilled? What are your opinions? Drop those below. Let's open that discussion. Let's talk about it. And we can talk about anything else we talked about on this thing, whether it was Brian Pillman's new name, whether it's the Endeavor embracing Triple H and the creative powers. What do you think of Karrion Kross and his future endeavors? What about NXT versus Dynamite on this Tuesday? Are you ready for this? Who do you think will do better? Will it be NXT or will it be Dynamite? We're always open to your discussions, your opinions, and that's what the comment section is for down below. So go ahead, drop your comments. Go ahead and put a like on this video. Just get that thumbs up. Tell us that you like what we're doing here at the Value of Wrestling. And of course, while you're doing that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because hitting that subscribe button allows you to become part of this Value of Wrestling family, and you're getting in on the ground floor. And getting in on the ground floor means you're going to be here at the beginning. And when we go in and take over the IWC and become a force to be reckoned with, you'll be there with us. And we appreciate that, and we value you as part of the Value of Wrestling family. And remember, subscribing is absolutely free. It costs you nothing except to click. And we just want you to hit that subscribe button so you can become part of something that will definitely be the future in the world of internet wrestling communities. Also, make sure you hit that bell for notifications, so when new videos like this one or any other videos pop up, you're going to be notified immediately when those videos come up, so you know there's something new to watch, something new to digest, take in. And of course, when we go live, because we go live after every pay-per-view event, and many other times we may go live, and of course at 12 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays from now on, the weekly roundup is live. The weekly roundup is a complete show that covers everything that went on in the week of professional wrestling the week before. So you want to be there live as we talk about the week in wrestling previously and round it all up and talk about it and discuss it. And you can join in the chat and give us your opinion, and we will let you voice your opinion there. We may talk about it and let you in on the discussion. But for now, on the big time, and I think we've covered everything. There is not much more to say. I hope that you've enjoyed and that we will see you next time. So until the next episode, I'm going to get out of here and call it a day. I appreciate you for being here. Until next time.